What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $1,400 third stimulus check update and fourth stimulus package update. Happy St. Patrick's Day, as not only is it St. Patrick's Day, I got my green shirt on, but it's also Money Day or Stimulus Payday for tens of millions of Americans. In fact, comment down below if you have already gotten your third stimulus check, your $1,400, and let our viewers know if it came through today, if it became unpending or not, or if you see it available yet or not. We're going to go over the brand new details of that, as well as the new details on the fourth stimulus check package, and some surprising information from former President Donald Trump regarding, well, pretty much everything. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on updates on the next and upcoming stimulus checks and stimulus packages, as well as the other stimulus items that we're going to see in the near future, such as $10,000 of student loan forgiveness, $200 per month of Social Security increase, $15,000 home buyer credit, the free health care for COBRA that is in the third stimulus check package, as well as the upcoming stimulus check package, the fourth stimulus check package, we'll call it. There's lots coming out. Don't forget to hit the like button, and let's jump right in. Former President Donald Trump had a lot to say last night, including he blames President Biden, and the Biden administration for the current border crisis that is happening right now. President Trump on Tuesday blamed his successor for the crisis at the southern border, saying previous progress has been, quote, eroded underneath President Biden. He says, quote, we did a lot of things and all of that is now eroded. Today they're coming in from all foreign countries. They're dropping them off and they're coming into our country. It's a disgrace. They're going to destroy our country if they don't do something about it. This comes as the Biden administration is scrambling to accommodate a surge of unaccompanied minors from Central America who have arrived at the southern border seeking entry into the U.S. Recent reports indicate the federal government now has more than 13,000 young people in custody, and many are being kept in customs border protection cells meant for adults for longer than is legally permissible. Trump says, quote, they're destroying our country. People are coming in by the hundreds of thousands. Young people are coming in and they leave their homes and they come up because they think it's going to be so wonderful. And frankly, our country can't handle it. It's a crisis like we've rarely had, and certainly we've never had on the border. And it's going to get much worse. With a little bit of time, you'll see those numbers expand at a level like you've never seen before. This comes as the Department of Homeland Security says that the border crossings are on pace to reach the highest level in over 2 decades. Homeland Security Secretary says we are on pace to encounter more individuals at the southwest border than we've had in the last 20 years. We are expelling most single adults and families. We are not expelling unaccompanied children. We are securing our border, executing the CDC, Public Health Authority, to safeguard the American public and migrants themselves, and protecting the children. We have a lot more work to do. Homeland Security Director Alejandro Mayorkas said, we are also critically sending an important message that now is not the time to come to our border. Give us the time to rebuild the system that was entirely dismantled in the prior administration, and we have in fact begun to rebuild that system. This comes as former President Donald Trump last night was not very happy that the Biden administration has halted work on what President Trump calls a nearly completed border wall. He says that the border wall is so close to being completed, it could be completed within a month, and it's basically majorly completed, and there's just small gaps that need to be done, and the Biden administration has completely halted the wall. Let me know your thoughts on the wall. Do you think they should finish completing it if it's, say, 95 or 99% done? They've already spent all that money to be there. Do you think they should finish it? It does prevent people from coming in illegally, which is kind of weird that the Democrats would stop that because, I mean, if you want to come into the country, you should do it through a legal means, not just physically running across the border. But you know how it is when new presidents come in, whether it's Biden or Trump, what Trump did to Obama and what Obama did to his predecessor. Whenever a new president comes in from the opposite party, they seem to want to undo as much as they can from the previous president, whether it's for the general good of the country or not. Seems like they just want to try to undo as much as possible, which I personally think is a mistake for any president. They shouldn't just undo something because the other president was from a different political party. But you can let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Former President Donald Trump also said the Supreme Court should be ashamed for not reversing the Biden win. Trump blasted the Supreme Court for refusing to hear his campaign election challenges, saying that on Tuesday that the High Court, quote, lacked the courage it needed to overturn the 2020 election. Trump repeated his claims that the election had been stolen from him because the states moved to allow expanded access to mail balloting due to the pandemic. Trump said, and I quote, the Democrats used COVID to do things they can't believe they got away with, that they didn't get their legislators to approve. And our courts and our Supreme Court didn't have the courage to overturn the elections that should have been overturned because you're talking about decisive amounts. Hundreds of thousands and even millions of votes, former President Donald Trump said. Trump also said the Supreme Court didn't rule on the facts, it ruled on standing. The Supreme Court should be ashamed of itself. Wow. Just this is crazy. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. It's I don't even have words for it. It's just crazy. Tens of millions of Americans are expected to get their third stimulus check today, $1,400 for adults, $1,400 for children, and $1,400 for adult dependents and college student dependents this time around. So a family of four would receive $5,600 today, expected for many, many millions of Americans. A lot of banks are pending until today. So we're expected to see or hoping to see that many of these major national banks will make the $1,400 stimulus checks not pending anymore and make them available to millions of Americans. In addition to this, the IRS is expected to send out brand new batches of direct deposits today. So millions more people, hopefully including Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and Direct Express card users, will get their $1,400 deposited today. Let me know down below in the comments and let our viewers know if you received your $1,400 today, if your bank made it go unpending today and made it available. Let us know what bank you're with, or if you're with Direct Express, Social Security, SSI, SSDI. Don't put your bank account information or password. Just put the bank, for example, Bank of America or Chase, and say, yes, I got my $1,400 today, or no, it's still pending. What are they doing? Hopefully, we see many, many more millions of Americans with the $1,400 stimulus checks get their money today. Now, paper checks are still have not been printed yet. We're expected to hear this within the next few days that they have started to print and send out the $1,400 stimulus checks through the mail. Now, remember, even if you get a direct deposit, you could still get a paper check or a or a debit card in the mail, because if they try to send you a direct deposit and it fails, it bounces back, or information's incorrect, or you closed your bank account or something like that, what they'll then likely do is send you a paper check or a debit card in the mail. So please be aware that this can happen. This literally happens to hundreds of thousands of people. They're not even expecting a check in the mail, and they get a check in the mail. And there's already been hundreds of thousands of people that have thrown away their checks or their debit cards that have the stimulus checks on there. So please let everybody you know about that, because you don't want to have your friends and family be the ones that throw away their stimulus checks in the garbage and then have to wait possibly months to try to get it, or wait until tax season next year to claim it. So it'll be a white envelope with a blue seal on it that says Department of Treasury, and there will be a stimulus check in there or a debit card. Also, there's so many scams going on right now, including scams in the YouTube comments on all the popular YouTube channels. If you see It's Jimmy in the comments without a check mark by his name, and he's asking you to buy Bitcoin or contact him for investments or contact him on WhatsApp, it's not me. It's an imposter. I literally ban these imposters like every day or two, and they just keep coming back. And YouTube just can't figure out how to get rid of imposters yet, because you can just create a new account literally a day, a minute later. So just keep that in mind. And there's a lot of scams going on for tax refunds and stimulus checks. The IRS will not call you. The IRS will not call you and get your information for stimulus checks over the phone or on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or anything like that. Those are scams. Please be very careful and let your friends and families know this, because there's so many scams going on right now for the stimulus checks and the tax refund. It's tax refund season. There's both going on. And it's St. Patrick's Day. I don't want to see any of our extended family here lose their stimulus checks, especially with good news of the next stimulus check coming out. Nancy Pelosi says the next stimulus package, known as the Build Back Better package, which will be an infrastructure bill or an infrastructure package, is coming very soon. And we just had new word from Senator Bernie Sanders that the Democrats are likely going to end up going the reconciliation route again. They may have to pass this next stimulus check package without the Republicans again through the reconciliation process, which requires just a simple majority of 50 or 51 votes. So if the Democrats have to do this again, which means they're not getting any Republican support again, even though Republicans are typically in favor of infrastructure, they might just set this one out on principle again, because really they don't want to support anything that Biden wants to do at this point, because, well, Republicans versus Democrats, and, it's a never ending battle. And we've seen this in the past from Republicans also. When President Obama became president, for several months, Republicans basically just didn't show any support for anything at all. So Democrats are already preparing to possibly have to pass this bill with the reconciliation process again. Now, that's probably pretty good news for stimulus checks and stimulus provisions in the next package, because we know that typically right now Republicans are being a little bit stingy with stimulus provisions and stuff. They don't really think we should be spending any more money for stimulus at all. But if you're a fan of stimulus, well, the Democrats are already pushing President Biden to include not just one stimulus check in the next package, but monthly reoccurring stimulus checks. We have 11, actually, I think it's more than that, Senate Democrats alone from the Senate, and more than 24 Democrats from the House of Representatives pushing to include monthly reoccurring stimulus checks and a monthly reoccurring unemployment bonus tied to automatic triggers based on the economic conditions. You can see here the lawmakers want to phase the benefits out as economic conditions improve, so that Americans in need of support do not suddenly lose aid. Senate Democrats want to include repeated direct stimulus payments and enhanced jobless benefits in the economic recovery plan, the next stimulus package, the infrastructure package, President Joe Biden will try to pass it this year. It's also unclear if we will see a movement to include the student loan forgiveness, although Senator Chuck Schumer says that can simply be done through a presidential executive order for anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000. Or if Senator Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren and Ron Wyden will add in their previous plan to increase Social Security benefits by $200 per month for all Social Security beneficiaries. This previous plan was to provide more than 60 million Americans with an additional $4,000 over 2 years as part of the Senate Democrats' bold Phase 3 stimulus proposal. Now, they weren't able to pass this previously because, well, they couldn't get the votes for it. But now that the Democrats control the House, the Senate, and the presidency, they could pass this bill as soon as they want. The real question is, will it be in the next stimulus package, the fourth stimulus package, or the infrastructure package? Will they try to do this through a standalone bill or presidential executive order in the near future? One thing's for certain is the way these things get added into bills or done through standalone bills or executive order is through pressure and mounting support. The more news we start to hear about anything like Social Security increase or student loan forgiveness, the more news we hear about that, the more and more likely it becomes. The perfect example of this is the $600 second stimulus check. When they unveiled the second stimulus check package, I was sad to report to you guys that there was no stimulus check in there. They literally unveiled the package and there was no stimulus checks in there. There was unemployment checks and there was money for like mortgage and rental assistance and stuff like that. But the main stimulus check was not in there. And then people just erupted. The outcry from average everyday Americans and then House and Senate leaders. And we actually had bipartisan support. We had Bernie Sanders from the Senate and Republican Senator Josh Hawley leading the charge from the Senate, pushing that there needed to be stimulus checks in there. They were actually pushing for $1,200 stimulus checks, and well, Republican Senator Ron Johnson raised his hand and objected to it on the floor because they just tried to do it through a simple up and down vote on which any one person can object. But what happened is that outcry from the Americans and from Congress to include a stimulus check in that package, like what were they thinking, actually led us to getting the $600. What they did is they took the money away from states and cities. It was about $160 billion, billion with a B, like Mitch with a B. But they took that $160 billion and they took it away from states and cities and literally gave them nothing. And they gave it to you guys in the form of the $600 stimulus check. That is the perfect example of support and public outcry and momentum for a bill. That is what we're going to need for student loan forgiveness, $200 per month Social Security increase, the $15,000 home buyer credit, or any of these things to be included in the next stimulus check package. I mean, they could be included in there, but the more support we see, the better the chances are. The more people that speak out about it and say, hey, we need this, we need this, we need this, the better the chances are to get this passed. So I recommend you tweet or write or email your senators, tweet your congressman, tweet President Biden. The most important people on the student loan forgiveness and the $200 per month Social Security beneficiaries are really these two people is Senator Chuck Schumer, who's the Senate Majority Leader, and Elizabeth Warren. And I would also include Democrat representative from the House, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Those are the main three stimulus people. Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren both co-sponsored the $200 per month Social Security increase and the student loan forgiveness bill. Literally, they're both on the same bill. So those are the two main people. I'd throw AOC in there too, and maybe President Biden. Tweet them and just email them, write them, message them, whatever you do. Twitter is kind of the way that a lot of political people, that's like their message board, is Twitter. Okay, so sign up for a free Twitter account, tweet them, message them, send it every day. Say, we need this bill, we need this, seniors are needed, and student loan forgiveness is needed. And I will keep you up to date on all of this as we, now the third stimulus check package, the dust is settling. People are getting their money. We will see a lot more of this in the near future, as well as the fourth stimulus check package coming out. Hopefully, we'll see all sorts of good stimulus news for you guys in the near future. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates on all of these different stimulus items as well as related news. I always bring you the hot news in addition to some stimulus items every day. So I'll keep you up to date. And you can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA, where you can replace your 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon. And I've had dozens and dozens of students do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.